Yes, hello everyone. My name is Brian Erstad. I'm with the Dynamics user groups, and so thanks to Ali and the TM group for setting this up, and thanks to you for attending and learning a little bit more about the user groups and what we're all about. So, my name is Brian Erstad. I'm the Membership Development Manager. So, when it comes to all things memberships with the user groups and why you would want to get involved, what the benefits are, I'd be the guy to talk to on that. Specifically on today we'll be talking about GPUG, CRMUG, and NavUG. We do also run the AXUG, AX user group, but the TM group has customers in those three product lines, so we'll be focused on those. Sounds like there's quite a few GP customers on the call today too, so we might do a little more focus on that one since there's more people using GP. So with that, we will jump right along here. And here's what the agenda will be for today. We'll start off a little bit about the user groups, where we came from, why we're around, and why you should be interested or get involved. We'll talk about the member programs, and with a membership, what can you do, what are the benefits, and then we'll be navigating the websites for the user groups and how to register for things, how to find your communities, how to connect with other members or like users that are around the country, around the world, really. And then the membership options, we'll get into that at the end, and which one would be right for you. And of course, questions at the end too. And I told Ali to go ahead and stop me if there's questions along the way. You guys can type in your questions to the GoToWebinar tool, and I can address those as we go too. We can keep this interactive. That is just fine with me. Okay, first of all, does anyone know what this picture is from? Now, hopefully you're thinking to yourself, this is the popular 80s sitcom Cheers. If you're thinking that, you are right. So Cheers, if you recall, was an establishment, a local bar. But what did they do? People came there and they gathered after a hard, long day's work, and they talk about their day, talk about their successes, their challenges, what went well, what didn't go well. And what happens is they really became a community there, a sense of community. And that's kind of what we shoot for with the user groups. We get people together through a variety of activities and let them talk about their day, talk about what's working well with the software, what's not working well, and you get to know these people and really become almost like family for all the different ways we have to interact and to network with other users. So I do like to kind of compare Cheers to the user groups because we do become that sense of community. We would have chapter leaders, which you could kind of compare to Sam Malone, the bartender there, kind of the leader of the pack, and that's what we have with the user groups too. So I always like to compare this one's pretty cool. Plus, it was a really good show back in the day. So if you recall this one, it's just a nice comparison. So a little bit about the user groups, where we came from here. So the whole idea started back in 2004. Our owner, his name is Andy Hafer. So he was a Dynamics AX customer back then, and he was at one of the Microsoft conferences called Convergence. You may have been to those in the past, but he was on a panel up on stage and connecting with other CIOs, answering questions, that type of thing, and just loving the networking and interaction he could get with other like users. And you know, they met the next day informally for breakfast and kind of talking about what's working well, what's not, and then they, met later on, a few weeks later for breakfast, and they kind of realized we have something here. Like there is a need for people to get together, users to get together, and really express their interest in what's working well, what's not. And from there, it kind of blossomed. They had more and more people at their meetings, and they went. Andy went ahead and broke off of his company and started up the AX user group. And within a year, they had their first small little conference. They had a few people together at a hotel, had a couple partners there for vendors in a hallway, that type of thing. So a few dozen people. And now, just 10 years later, at we call it the Summit conferences, we had over 4,000 people at it just a few weeks ago here in Reno. So that's where it came from. It started in 2004, and now we have thousands of members and people attending the conference. So AXUG was the first one, then GPUG started in 2006, and then 2008 along came the CRMUG and NavUG. So the nice thing is Microsoft does recognize us. We're a third party from Microsoft. We're not part of them, but they recognize us as the official user groups. They know it works well to have a unbiased third party running it, led by the users for the users. So that's where we come into play. And they let us use their facilities for a lot of our events and chapter meetings and things like that. So they're totally on board and help with a little bit of funding and catering and things like that along the way too, which is good. And as we know, we're the largest group of Dynamics user groups out there. It says CRM here, but that would be also for GPUG, NAVUG, and AXUG. So we're the largest one out there that we know of that can put these events on and really coordinate the activities. We are called, the actual company name is Dynamic Communities, Inc. So in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Dynamic Communities, Inc. And within that, we run these 4 user groups. That's kind of how it works. And we're made up of 3 groups, basically. It's the users of the software, partners, because partners are great to have involved because they have the product experts and they help present a lot of our trainings and they even help drive people to our events like the TM group is doing today. So we appreciate that. And then Microsoft also helps out and participates when they can on roadmaps and product knowledge and presentations like that. So all 3 of us make up the user group. And here are some numbers just kind of on the user group and where we're at as far as membership-wise, companies, that type of thing. So you can look at all these numbers, but the one thing to point out of all these things is these numbers are increasing every year. We are growing constantly, which is a good thing. We have over 63,000 individual members right now. So that comes out to 16,000 companies. So a lot of companies have multiple people, contacts on their membership, which is great. We want as many people as possible on your membership from each company because you can add unlimited people once you have a user group membership. So that's good to have. You can see the summit count there, 3,900. We actually did go over 4,000 for our annual conference. The webinars numbers, academy courses. We're going to go over all what these are here, but just know there's a lot of ways to interact, and it's growing every year. So more and more opportunities. So why do you need a user group, Dynamics user group, I guess? Maybe we should start with that first of all. Like, what's the point of this? A few different reasons, but we try and focus on some of the big ones. First of all, companies use a small percentage of the software. It can do so much, and you don't know what you don't know. So we're in place to help you fully utilize your software, make it work for your business, make it work well, and learn from others that, as it says here, have been there, done that. Chances are they've gone through the struggles you have, the implementation, the upgrades, and lean on them for questions and answers, along with your partner, of course, but it's just another avenue to reach out and learn from people that have already gone through it. And then the middle one here, user adoption. That's always a tough one for new software or upgrading and things like that. How do you get people to use it, especially in the CRM world where your salespeople or whoever may or may not want to use it? Well, we do a lot of trainings and focus on user adoption and how companies got their users to actually want to use it, make it work for them, and make it work right. So those are a few reasons of why you would need a user group. And then ultimately, we're here to help you save time. You spend a little time with the user group, attend a training or two, you're going to save yourself time and money. Maybe you don't have to stay late at the end of the day and figure something out that you just couldn't get figured out on your own because you leaned on the group of 20,000 GP customers that are out there on our online community, and someone responded and gave you the answer you needed. Little things like that. That's why a user group's in place to really help you maximize your value. As our mission says there, you can see the mission is to maximize the value of the individuals and companies using the products they are founded around. So all that goes around to user groups. And the thing is, if you really utilize it and take advantage of a user group membership, you can make it worthwhile. So we're going to talk about more ways of how you can do that now. And what CRMUG members do, you'll see this a lot throughout kind of our websites and our messaging, but share, learn, and connect. That's what we do, is share ideas, share the best practices and methods, learn from each other, learn from all the educational webinars and trainings that we put on, and then connect with others, connect with other users at all these trainings, whether it be online or in person. There's all kinds of ways to do this. And these are some of the main ways to do that with the activities that we put on. So we have online and in-person learning events, educational webinars, networking, academy trainings, or even our more in-depth, deeper half-day to full-day training courses that are available, and I'll show you where to go for those, how to register for them, what are the upcoming ones. But there's hundreds of ways to connect throughout the year, whether you're an administrator, whether you're an end user, whether you're a developer. There's something for everybody. So one of the things we're known for, maybe some people know us for this, some of us know us for other things, but our chapters. We hold chapter meetings across the country, across the world really, in cities all over the place. And if there's one in your area, well, then you can go ahead and register for your chapter meeting, go attend them. These are scheduled quarterly, and it's led by the users, for the users, and just a way for you to connect and learn. And here's a picture of I believe this is the Philadelphia CRM UG chapter. And they had a great meeting there, and this is kind of a typical chapter, maybe a typical chapter size even. It's kind of small, intimate setting. You get a lot of roundtable discussions and ways to interact with people. So as part of a membership, that would be included as those chapter meetings. And I'm just going to show you a map here. This happens to be the CRM user group chapters across the United States. As this is building here, you'll see quite a few of those out there. And if there's one in your area, you can definitely register for the next meeting. Or if there's not one in your area, we're always open to starting one in your area, as long as there's a user or two that wants to help lead it, and a group of users, or say CRM or GP or NAV customers in the area, then we got a chance to have a successful chapter in that city. So always looking for more. Here's what a typical chapter meeting might look like, with the agenda. Start off in the morning, some registration and networking, then jump into a member showcase. And what that is basically a user will kind of highlight how they use, say, GP, and how it's set up, and their special nuances of their business and how that fits into their business. Just kind of your chance to showcase how you use the product. And then after that, do a quick break and jump into a birds of a feather roundtable. So that maybe you'll break up into different tables by different job role or different industry type, or the version of the product that you're on. Whatever the chapter leader wants in the chapter, they can decide how these get broken up. And then at the end, we might do an educational workshop. Sometimes this is presented by a partner or a specific product expert or subject matter expert. Can do that, and that might wrap up the meeting then after that. So it's basically a way to get people together, get them talking, and get them to learn from each other. So again, that could be a chapter meeting, but you can set it up however you want as being part of the chapter team. Here's a snapshot of a chapter in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. So this is one of the stronger chapters for CRMUG in particular. But Minnesota always has a good following. So you can see a full room there is around 80 people, and it's a good size one here. You have Microsoft involved in the bottom right corner. That's Cindy Skack, one of the SSPs, presenting an award to the previous chapter leader there. So Microsoft's involved, loving the involvement there, and they're always driving attendance to these too. So keep an eye out for these. We'll show you where to go for maybe one in your area here in a little bit. All right, so I want to do a quick demo of the chapters on the website, and I'm going to start by actually showing you how to get, first of all, to get logged in. We want to do that because if you're not familiar with the user groups, never heard of us, here's our main website. It's gpug.com, and I'm signed in. I'm going to go ahead and log out real quick, kind of show you what the main screen is looking like before you even get logged in or set up an account with us. So the first thing is you don't even need to be a member to set up an account. All you need to do is basically just set up an account. Sign up there's a free account you can start with. There's a free 30-day trial that'll give you a full member access for 30 days. But if you're here for the first time, what you'd want to do is click on sign in the upper right-hand corner. And it's going to show a login page. And if you haven't ever logged in before, you can choose the sign up button here in the bottom left. That's sign up. And that'll just take you through setting up a contact record with some contact info and then your company name. You can even search for your company name when you go through this process. Maybe you're already in our system. If you're already in there, you just add yourself to the current account name that's already there. So The sign up would be the button to click on to get started for the first time. Or if you're already logged in, you can go ahead and sign in with your username and password. So I will do that. All right, so that takes me to the member. I'm on a member page here. I'm already a member. There's always going to be a become a member box here because you can always add a membership that for the different user groups. There's other user groups you could add yourself to. So you're always going to see that become a member, even if you're already, say, a GPUG member. But anyway, you'll notice here on the main page some of the main things you can do. We have a profile. You can update your profile. You can check out what communities you might be involved in or what communities are out there as far as different locations or different special interest groups that we have. The open forum, this is a big one of how to post questions and get them answered on our what we call our Collaborate website. Content library would have to do with our webinars. And then volunteering, that's part of what we do with the user group. We always looking for more volunteers to help run a lot of the things that we do. So volunteers help us run. Now I wanted to show you chapters in particular and how to get registered for those. So I'm going to go here. On the left-hand side is all our navigation and our drop-downs. And under Learn and Engage, we're going to see a lot of the member benefits are posted. So under Attend a Local Meeting, that's where we would go to register for a chapter meeting or just see what chapter meetings are out there. And there's a couple ways to interact with your local chapter. So we're on the chapter page. And first of all, there's this side middle left here. It says attend an upcoming meeting. And then right beside that, it says join your virtual community. So the meeting is where you go to check out the meeting details and when they're coming up and how to get registered. The virtual community is kind of the online message board for that particular chapter where you can ask questions and get in touch with that group. So the TM group being in Michigan, maybe you guys are in Michigan, let's just look for a local meeting in Michigan. So we click on the local meeting. Now we're going to go to the keyword search. We'll just type in Michigan. And it'll pull up the chapter in Michigan. And there it is. So Detroit has a chapter, GPUG chapter meeting coming up on December 11th. And that'll be from 2 to 4 p.m. So a couple hour meeting there. We can drill into it for the details and where it's at and all those types of things and even get registered. So clicked on that. And you'll see the details here, and if you want to register, you click on the register button. Now if you're a member, this is going to be a free chapter meeting, and if you're not a member, you'll be a subscriber, a free subscriber account. You'll notice there is a $25 fee on the meeting just to help get that meeting processed and things we need to do that. So members, it's free. So, non-members, there'll be a $25 fee. But you can see the agenda here. Kind of what's going on. It looks like a general agenda right now since we're still over a month away. So the chapter leaders are working on that to finalize the agenda. Now if we scroll down a little bit, we want to find the virtual community or how to interact with this chapter. We'll type in Michigan again here. And they'll take you to the chapter. There we go, the chapter community. Again, Michigan and Detroit. And you can see some of the latest discussion posts here. You can see Jeff Dalton is a chapter leader from the Spiritex company, along with Pete Wayne from Altec. And Jeff had posted a few weeks ago there while he was in Reno at the Summit Conference and a question there on some locations where they might want a chapter meeting. So you can reach out here, you can post, you can actually add yourself, you can hit the join community button and join this community and interact with that particular chapter. So that's where you go for chapters and to get registered for them. With that, I'm going to jump back in and continue on. We'll go back and forth here as we go. So I mentioned webinars, and webinars are also a big part of what we do. It says here over 180 webinars per year, and that's actually probably a little light. We definitely do over 200 webinars per year for GPUG, probably has the most, and then CRMUG has around 200 also. But there's a lot of different training webinars on the products, and that's what we look to do, cover about every possible topic and module that's out there. These are the different types with the workshops or listen and learns. You have Ask the Experts, where we get some of our experts on there. You can go ahead and just ask your questions to them and get them answered. The how-tos might be a demo of something, and how do you do something, how do you make it work for your company. We have conduits or Microsoft feedback sessions. That's where Microsoft takes your feedback and talks about what you like about the product and maybe puts that into the next release. They really listen to the users on that, and the user group's a big part of that. Partner showcases are a good one for you to find out other ISV solutions that are out there and how you can get those to work for your company. There's so many different options, and we let partner ISVs present and show off their products, so you can look at that. And then lunch and learns are specific to GPUG, the second Tuesday of each month, where you can go and do a particular topic over your lunch and learn something there. So those are the types of webinars that we offer, and the webinar schedule is out there, and we'll take a look here at that in a second too. With our webinars and with our groups, we have special interest groups, or SIGs we call them. These are broken down by role, industry, or product. And here are some of the main SIGs here. A lot of these are GPUG or GP SIGs, and you can go ahead and join these and attend the group of webinars that we have for them and different trainings. And some of the big ones are maybe Management Reporter and Forecaster Friday. People want to hear more about MR and specifically reporting, so that's a good one. Our Women in Dynamics series, which we have a webinar on that coming up. I think we have around 100 people registered for that one already, so that's a really popular one. Upgrading is always good, so keep an eye out for these. They're all part of our webinar series, and you can join these special interest groups and talk and communicate with people in these particular groups. Now, OneSource is a series of webinars that we offer, and this is where you can join and register for these same topic webinars throughout the year. So right now, the GPUG series we have going on is on year-end closing, so it's that time of year, so we have a good handful of webinars on that, on just year-end closing. You can get registered for all those and take advantage of all the year-end closing ones. On the CRM side, we have the dynamic duo of CRM plus Office, so how CRM works with Office and how you make that to work for yourself. So that's a popular one, a good series going on. Then some of the previous GPUG series you can see that we've had out there, and these are available as recordings also for members. But it's an upgrade series. It's 1, 2, 3, let's get started for the new users of GP. Excel was huge. We had hundreds of Excel registrants on that series. And GP 2015 is the new product line there. That was a popular one too. So the website, it goes across for all the user groups, but it's gpug.com/engage/OneSource, or it would be crmug.com or nabug.com. Gets you to this particular website with the OneSource series. And Academy courses. Academy courses are also a webinar format, but they're a little more deeper. They're a little more complex. The half-day to full-day training courses. I'm just showing the CRMUG slide here. We actually have a CRMUG Administrator Black Belt series, and this one's been popular, but it takes you to everything you need to know about being a CRM administrator. And how we have it broken down is kind of the karate theme with belt courses. So the first one is the blue belt course. That's the most basic. And then it goes to the purple belt, then the brown belt, then the black belt. And there's tests and labs to pass at the end of each of them to move on to the next course. And to really prove that you know what you're talking about. And then at the end, you actually pass the black belt course, and we send you a black belt. You can see our guys here from Summit last year wearing their black belts, showing them off. So good job there, completing all the courses. Now, since these are a little more complex, more about these trainings, we do have to charge a little extra for these. The nice thing is members get a big discount. They get 50% off of these courses. So that's how the Academy courses are set up. And you can see the Academy link there. Again, this goes across all user groups. We have Academy courses for GPUG, for NAVUG, for CRMUG. They all have their different specialties that you can register for. The black belt for CRMUG in particular, it is, they're all distance learning. These are actually on demand, so they're recorded and you can watch them on your time. You have 30 days to complete each of the courses, and that's how the CRMUG black belt is set up. So more ways to get training. Now on the GPUG side of things, we actually have professional certificate programs. So here's the 4 main ones that we do offer, but it's a certificate for business intelligence. There's one for accounts payable, for administrators, and for accounts receivable. So we have a certain set of trainings and academy courses that'll get you to these certificates. So you can see the progression there. You take 2 core classes, you take 2 elective classes, and then you do a community support activity. That could be posting and helping someone out on Collaborate. That could be writing a blog, writing in our magazine. That would be an example of community support activities. So you complete all those, then you get GPUG Academy certified, and you for short, we call these like PCAP or PCAR. So that's, if you hear those terms, that's what we're talking about, are the certificates for GP users. So again, there's the link for that, gpug.com/engage/academy. All right, so we will jump back in to that. And we'll go to the Academy page and webinar page here. So here we're back on the GPUG site. Again, on the left-hand side is where you go for the benefits and navigation. Hit the Learn and Engage drop-down, and we'll go to View Upcoming Webinars. And that takes you to our webinar schedule. Scroll down just a bit. Watch that schedule load. There's all kinds of tags here where you can filter out different webinars if there's certain topics that you want to focus on. Or if you just want to look at all the webinars coming up, here they are, upcoming events, and they're just out there by date. So right now, I mentioned that Women in Dynamics one that's going on this morning here at noon Eastern Time, 11 Central Time. And then you can see the other ones that are out here too. We got security, audit, and compliance. This was a Summit Ready event, follow up to the Summit conference. We also have the 50 tips in 50 minutes. That was always a huge popular webinar or session that we put on with all those tips. You got some reporting here with Power Pivots, Power Query, Powerful Excel. Another BI, got best practices for AP year-end. This is part of our OneSource series. You can see the OneSource tag here for year-end webinars. Then you'll see some of them have this one-click register, and that's exactly what that is. It's a one-click register, and you can get registered for these webinars. And what that means is the one-click registers are open to even non-members. So if you're a non-member, you can go ahead and register for some of these. Not very many, members get access to most of the webinars. As you can see, there's only one-click register on this page, but then there's pages and pages of webinars coming up. And again, you can filter through those and pick your topic and which ones you want to focus on. So that's where we go for webinars. If you want to check out the Academy courses, you go to Learn and Engage tab, and you go to GPUG Academy. And we talked about that certificate program. You can learn all about that here by clicking on the Learn About Available Certificate Programs. Or you can just check out the upcoming Academy courses. The next one is on November 11th, HR Reporting with Smart Lists and GPHR Reports. So you drill into those, check out the details, 9:45 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time, so that's your half-day course. And you see some other ones out there, best practices for month-end and year-end, harness the power of GP, Advanced Management Reporter, all kinds of good stuff here. These are the more in-depth Academy courses. And same thing goes with the CRM website here. You drill into that. You have the same look and feel. The same navigation on the left-hand side, Learn and Engage, CRMG Academy. And there's a big kind of push here for this, the black belt courses. You'll see all the belts here, and how you register for these, you can actually just add them to your cart, and it shows the pricings here, pricing for each of them. Now this is showing the non-member pricing, so for the, each course, it's $638. Now once I log in as a member, then that'll be cut in half. It's a 50% discount on those trainings. Or if you want to register for the whole black belt course, all 4 series at once, you do get a discount there. This is not the discounted price it's showing, but it goes down to $11.99 for all 4 courses. So again, you log in, the same login you can use for each of these sites. They're all connected. Oh. So we'll go ahead and log myself into CRMUG. Maybe. Doesn't want to do it right now. One more try. There we go. There you go. So I'm logged in as a member. You can see where the price was slashed down half price, down to $319 for each. Or if you get all 4 courses, $11.99. We also do have this sales, CRM for sales right now, and those are $297. So there's a sales manager and a sales rep academy course for CRM too, so that's one to keep in mind. Okay, so anyway, so that's where you go for that, and hopefully that makes sense. And we will jump back into the slides. And I want to talk a second about the magazines. So we also offer for each user group, there's a magazine out there. So this is a shot of one of the NAVUG magazines in the past. So we put these out about 3 times a year, spring, fall, and winter. And what it is, it's all kinds of tips and articles on what's hot with the product, what the users are saying, some tips and tricks from the experts out there. We highlight our members. We highlight some of our companies that are maybe doing good things in the community, have some good user interest stories, hit the hot topics. And these are member benefits. Once you have a membership, all of your users get sent this this magazine. It's even available online if you want to read it online. There's the digital copy, but definitely good reading material to stay up to date what's happening in the community and with your particular product line. I want to jump into the Summit conferences. So I mentioned this, but the Summit 2015 was a huge success. We were in Reno. You can see the bottom picture there was the opening general session, opening keynote, and that's a panoramic shot of the convention center and the 4,000 people we had packed into this room. The keynote speaker we had this year, his name is George Coronis. He's actually the host of the Angry Planet television show. Basically, he's a storm chaser, and his whole message was making fear disappear. And that's what he does. He makes fear disappear when he is chasing all these storms, and basically a no fear guy. But he related that to how you do that in business and how you kind of use your fear to your advantage and use your fear to really drive you and motivate you and develop your career and your profession. And it was a nice message there that hit home. In the past, we always try and get some kind of motivational speaker or a popular name. Last year, we had Steve Rizzo, which is a comedian / motivational speaker, and he did a great job just getting everybody set up for the conference. And the year before that, we were in Tampa, Florida. We had Tony Dungy. If you remember him, he was an NFL player, coach. Now he does Sunday night football analysis, and he had a great message there about teamwork and business and how you tie that all together. So next year we'll have hopefully another good keynote like that. The pictures on the top here are on the upper left. That is at our CRM user group hub at the conference, and you'll see the red cross there and the sign that says CRMG Medic Help Desk. That's a topic we have at each of the, or concept we have at each of the user group breakout areas. And the medics, they wear these white coats, and who they are, they're the product experts. And they're the medic when it comes to your product and the questions you have. So they make themselves available. These are a lot of times MVPs, Microsoft MVPs, so the actual product experts. You can go up, ask their questions, they're very approachable, get your questions answered right there on site with these people in the lab coats. This year we did kind of a good job of making this look like an actual medic tent, and people thought this was for medical reasons versus the product specific challenges. So it was kind of cool, but we went ahead and had these medic tents set up. In the middle there, you can kind of see it's a snapshot of a session. So we have this big 4,000 person conference, and then you can see the session room down there. They're not all these huge breakouts where you get lost in the shuffle. It's more of a small, intimate setting because each summit, with actually their separate summits for NAVUG, CRMUG, GPUG, AXUG, they have their separate sessions, a couple hundred sessions going on throughout the week. So you have the intimate setting, you can get your questions answered. You have good access to the presenter. You don't have to feel like you're lost in a sea of people. On the bottom, yeah, that looks like a sea of people because we have everybody together at once, and after that, everyone breaks off into their own separate areas. So again, a huge success with Summit. Oh, as far as number of attendees for each, GPUG had just under 1,300 of this 4,000 for attendees. CRMUG and NAVUG were both around 740 people attending for those particular product lines. So these numbers are growing every year, which is awesome. And next year we are heading to Tampa, Florida again. We were there a few years ago. We're going back to Tampa. It's the week of October 11th through 14th. I have the old Reno promotion sign here. That was from just this year. We were in Reno October 12th through 16th. So it's always that same week. And next year we're the October 11th week in Tampa. So this is just, we have, around GPUG has over 200 sessions. I know CRMUG had just under 200 for total sessions available. So what you really need to do is divide and conquer. You bring a few people, you bring a few of your users to pick out your schedule, pick out your courses so you can make it to as many as possible. Then go back, compare notes, train your teams in after when you get back. So the feedback and comments we've had on these conferences have just been great. You can see Debbie Clark's comment here from Entertainment One. She said Summit exceeded her expectations. It was awesome. Her head is swimming with new ideas. And that's what we do. We try to open up your mind to how you can get the product to work better for you, how you can use it more efficiently in your organization, and just the networking and trainings that you get are very valuable. Now, we always offer an optional pre-conference training. So the first 2 days before it even starts, like the Monday and Tuesday, those are always academy days. So those are those half-day or full-day training courses you can take. So one time a year you can take them in person. Other than that, they're all online. So that's where Academy comes into play, the 2 days before Summit. So you can make a whole week out of it if you want, or you can just attend the actual conference with the regular sessions throughout. So a couple different options for you there, and you can see the websites for each of those. So wanted to mention that. All right, so collaborate. We talked about this a little bit, but this is the online message or support forum where you go get your questions answered within the communities. And the links for each of them are there and where you go to ask questions. Each website has their own collaborate or support forum. It's the private community to connect, learn, and share. There's the connect, learn, and share again to get your questions answered. The nice thing is you post a question, it's going out to the community, it's going out to our 20,000 plus people in each user group. And some of the best minds are on there, people that have been there, done that, and they can certainly help you get your questions answered. So Collaborate's a popular tool, what people use to interact with the group. I mentioned volunteers are a big part of what we do, and volunteers are always wanted. Here's some of the different things you can do to volunteer and the ways to interact. If you want to be on the board, we do have a board for each of the user groups made up of users and a few partners to help guide us on are we hitting the right mark on topics, on content, on our chapter meetings, are we doing things the right way, or what's the vibe of the members and the membership, are we hitting the right things? So that's where the board comes into play. There's instructors for all of our academies or our webinars. We need presenters. We need chapter presenters, chapter leaders. These are all ways to volunteer. If you want to blog or write for our magazine, if you want to lead a special interest group, if you want to post on social media, we always want help with that too. But this is just focusing on the CRMUG website here. Again, this applies throughout all the user groups. You can just change CRMUG to GPUG or NAVUG, and there's a site to sign up and just raise your hand and say, yeah, I'd like to volunteer. And we actually track the volunteer points, and we give awards every year at Summit on who's contributing to the community, who's that all-star volunteer, and we give all-star awards out, and some great professional recognition, kind of make you the star with your company and in the community of users also. Okay, I'm going to jump back on the website, kind of show you Summit, show you Collaborate, how to post questions, how to get involved. And we got about 20 minutes, so it looks like we're doing good on time. All right, I'll go to the NAVUG website now. Take a look at that. You can see same look and feel again. You have your general navigation. You have your drop downs on the left-hand side. So I'll go ahead and get signed into NAVUG. Use the same credentials I did for all the other websites. There we go, same look and feel. If I want to go to that open forum, I want to Collaborate open forum and get my questions answered. I click on open forum here right in the middle, or I can go under Learn and Engage, drop down again, hit Ask a Question, and that's where we go to get your questions answered. You can see all the topics that are out there. You can search by different things. You can filter it by most recent or highly rated. Up here in the search box, you can search for a particular topic. It's going to pull up different questions that have been answered on that. It's going to pull up webinars or anything really on our website with that topic. So I encourage you to check this out. Go out here, ask a question, search the Q&A, and find something that you could really use. So that's where Collaborate's at. And you probably notice once you sign up with us, you actually get a daily digest. You can set your settings, but you can set it to get a daily digest email. So each day you get an email with all the Q&A that's going on. You can kind of skim through all the questions if that works for you. Or you can set that to be real time. That means every time someone asks a question that gets posted and you get an email on it, you may get a lot of emails if you do that one. Or you can set it to weekly or whatever the options are. If you don't want to get the notifications at all, you don't have to. So a lot of different ways to do that. Now, one thing too I want to point out is the directory. So once you're a member, you can search the directory, and that's under Learn and Engage. Click Search the Directory. This is where you reach out and find other people. If you want to find out people at a certain company, type in that company name, search it. You can find those members. You can do an advanced search, and then it'll let you break down it more so by location. What industry are they in? What's their role? What version of NAV or whatever website you're on? That's the product line that you'd be picking. So really a good way to filter that out and find different members out there and connect with them and interact and network. We do lock this down to users only, so partners don't have access to just search the directory and kind of reach out to people. So I know they would probably love that, and Allie would love that and whatnot, but we try and keep it private for users only to reach out to each other. So it seems to work well, and we're going to stick with that, I think. Okay. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you was where to go for conferences and even membership. But so conferences, like I said, if you're interested in Summit at all, the conference tab would take you to GPUG. I'm not back at the GPUG site now. I just flipped back. But GPUG Summit 2015 is the one that we just got done with, obviously. And there'll just be a save the date. Here's the website. There's the save the date for Florida, but it's just gpugsummit.com. And all kinds of good stuff on here. The registration won't actually be open until this spring, that's when we'll open it up to everybody. You can see we're 340 days away, but some good info here. We have the promotional video for Tampa if you want to check that out. Our Twitter feed, Summit News, all the PowerPoints get posted out here to the community, so our attendees can go ahead and check those out after the fact. So everything's kind of built into this. So just want to make you aware that the site is out there. You can check out the 2015 sessions and materials about the summit. It's all up here. So keep an eye on that if you're interested. Okay. Now we will go a few more slides and we'll wrap it up here. So I mentioned membership a few times. There is a membership option. So membership is going to give you access to everything that we do. You can see there's the free option, the subscriber one, which gives you a few things. You get some weekly emails. You get some of informational webinars we do, not a whole lot of the educational webinars. But then there's the membership. And there's 3 different levels of membership that you may fall under. So either on their small business, mid-market, or enterprise membership level. And it's all depending on your license count. So if you want the GPUG membership, it depends on how many GP licenses you have. If you want the CRM UG membership, it depends on your CRM license count. And there's separate memberships you get for each of them. And you may fall into one of these 3 categories. And I just have some general ranges here of where it would be because the pricing is slightly different for each of the user groups. So anywhere from $400 to $450 for small business, mid-market is $700 to $800, enterprise is $1,100 to $1,200 for that annual membership. The nice thing is that covers everyone in your company. It's not just you, but everybody. So if you're in the mid-market membership for $700 to $800, you get over 200 webinars a year. All those webinars get recorded. You can go out and watch those on your time. You can ask questions to the community. You can attend chapter meetings for free. You get discounts to Summit. I haven't mentioned that yet, but if you register for Summit, you get $200 off of each registration if you're a member, and then you get those 50% Academy course discounts. So a lot of savings to be had. And actually, I want to I'll touch on that in just a second. I'll go over the next slide real quick. So once you are a member, we have what we call the Member Get a Member program. So if you're a member and you say, hey, I know so-and-so down the street, they use GP also, they should look at this user group. All you have to do is submit it on our website. There's a Member Get a Member page, and you submit their name and company name and contact info. We'll follow up with them and say, hey, so-and-so said you may be interested in a membership. You'd be a good fit for that. Now, if they go ahead and sign up for a membership too, then you get $50 back in your pocket. You can pick to get a $50 gift card, or you can get $50 towards an Academy course. So whatever it may be, it's $50 to help out. And this is our way to kind of get the community, the name out there, and get the word spread about the membership. So a Member Get a Member program, that is. Now, real quick, we're going to show you where the membership info is on the website. So we're back at gpug.com. On the left-hand side, there's the membership drop-down. And you'll see view benefits and pricing. You can check out your profile, and then there's that Member Get a Member I talked about. So the view benefits and pricing, that's going to talk about those 3 different tiers that I mentioned. So there's a small business, mid-market, or large enterprise. For small business, it's 1 to 9 GP licenses. So if your company's in that level, you would be $450 for the year. If you have 10 to 49, that'd be $800 for the year. Or if you have 50 plus GP licenses, that's $1,100. So $450, $800, or $1,100 for the GPUG membership. That's all it is. Flat fee. That's how it works. Covers everybody. So simple. Very affordable. If you want to just check it out, you click the 30-day trial, and that'll walk you through setting up that 30-day trial. Gives you all the benefits that we talked about today. So that's how that works. Again, once you're a member, the Member Get a Member tab here on the left-hand side. All you do is refer people, put their name in, put your information in. We'll follow up with them if they sign up. We give you a gift card. It's that simple, or that $50 off the Academy course if you'd like that. Okay. So that's where the membership information is at. And with that, I just want to mention some user group go-dos, what you can do after we get off this call today. First of all, you can create your account with CRM-EG, GPUG, or NAVUG, or multiple, maybe use CRM and GP or CRM and NAV. You go out there to those websites, create at least the free account. That kind of gets you in the system, gets you set up, gets you some communications. Once you do that, you can start your free 30-day trial, and that'll give you access to everything for a full 30 days. Then you can check it all out. You can actually sign up for webinars. You can view a recorded webinar, and that's also under the Learn and Engage tab. There's that access webinars on demand. We didn't quite look at that, but it's super simple. You can just go ahead and view recorded webinars. You can, number 3, you can check out the Collaborate open forum and post a question. Post a question in the community. You can throw a softball out there if you want and lob it out there and see what kind of response you get. And you can ask your complex questions, whatever you want. Go ahead and post the community. Number 4, locate your nearest regional chapter meeting and sign up for the next meeting. I showed you where to go for that and find your local chapter meeting and get registered there. Number 5 is join a special interest group, and this is a member benefit, but you can join these groups, and whether it be by like, role, industry, or product line that you're on, you can get set up with those people and ask your questions there. Sign up for Summit 2015. That's a little out of date since Summit 2015 is over, so it's going to be sign up for Summit 2016, and that will open this spring, so can't quite do that one yet. And then number 7, upgrade to a CRM-EG membership or a GPUG membership or NAVUG membership. If you haven't already, you have all those options to do that. So those would be the go-dos.